gentlemen, thanks so much for taking a minute to review this video with us. I am here today with Dr. James to talk to you about Diamond Luxury Healthcare, a new franchise that I'm excited to be able to share with you. Dr. James, first of all, thanks for taking a minute out of your day to talk to us about this.
Oh, absolutely.
And could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I grew up in Plano, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, and my work ethic came from watching my father climb the corporate ladder. He would sometimes work 16-hour days, and he traveled extensively, and I wanted to excel in every aspect of my life just like him. So what I did, I dedicated myself to academics first and sports second. I managed to do pretty well in both, but a career-ending basketball injury focused my attention on pursuing a career in medicine. I went to Wake Forest University on a full academic scholarship. I was also fortunate enough to sustain a high GPA at Wake and attained a full scholarship to Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas. Then after med school, I was accepted to one of the most prestigious surgical programs in the country, Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. It's an incredible institution, and that's where things really changed for me.
What happened during that time that inspired you to get into concierge medicine?
Well, I wanted to be a surgeon my whole life, and the celebrity environment at Cedars really provided my first taste of concierge medicine. I thought it was an interesting concept, but after reading about concierge and so many uninsured struggling with medical bills and access to health care, I was fixated on reinventing healthcare delivery systems in our country. I wanted to create a model that removed barriers to providing medical services and offered price transparency. I knew if I could come up with a model that offered a better product at a better price, a paradigm shift would ensue. Now, this was back in 2009, prior to the Affordable Care Act, which in truth has accelerated healthcare issues exponentially.
Sure, absolutely. And ever since we've been hearing about the ACA for the last several years, so this is just getting more and more prominent in the news. And so it sounds to me like you took the concierge medicine idea and wanted to bring it to the masses, if you will. Now, that triggers my next question. What made you decide to use franchising as your method of expansion?
Well, the idea was to help physicians around the country enjoy the practice of medicine and reinvigorate the patient-physician relationship. I feel like that's been lost in modern-day healthcare. And primary care in America is dying. Doctors are closing their practices because they're burnt out, they're retiring, or they can't keep their doors open because of rising overhead costs. I wanted to create a lean model that eliminated artificial layers of inflation, bureaucracy, and managed care. Once our policies and procedures were streamlined, I knew that the franchise model would be the most efficient vehicle to blanket our country with truly affordable health care that it desperately needs.
Understood. Well, let's talk a little bit more about that, about the current healthcare environment. What can you tell us about the current environment that makes this just the perfect time for a direct medicine business?
Well, Michael, the Affordable Care Act has actually accelerated the problems it was designed to fix, like I mentioned before. Insurance premiums are at an all-time high. The average family of four was supposed to save $2,400 per year on insurance premiums, but in fact, they're spending $2,400 more than in 2013. Insurance plans now offer less coverage, networks are shrinking, access to health care is plummeting, which is compounded by the worst physician shortage we have ever seen. We spend 17% of our GDP on healthcare, more than any other industrialized nation, but we don't have the best outcomes. Healthcare expenditures are rising at twice the rate of inflation. If we don't come up with a solution, our country will go bankrupt. And that's a fact. We cannot continue to borrow money from China. Diamond Physicians, our direct medicine model, is that solution. Every U.S. citizen needs health care. It's simple economics. Demand for quality, affordable health care is the highest it's ever been, and supply is devastatingly low.
That sounds kind of like what people often refer to as a perfect storm in business, where supply is down but demand is up.
That's exactly right.
What is the size of the direct medicine industry?
There's about 12,000 physicians operating membership-based practices in 2015. That represents only 1% of all licensed physicians in the U.S. and 5% of all active primary care physicians. So huge room for growth.
Excellent. Can you share some of the stats that make the attractive method for practicing medicine for physicians?
Sure. Let's start with compensation. The average family medicine physician makes around $165,000 a year. Diamond physician owners pull in $500,000, and salaried physicians can make anywhere from $220,000 to $300,000, depending on the investor model. Now, the average primary care doc has 3,000 to 4,000 patients in their practice census. Diamond physicians, we cap our patient census at 615, and that translates into an 80% reduction in the amount of medical issues and a massive leap in the quality of life that can't be quantified. So our doctors see less patients, they have a higher quality of life, and they make more money. You know, we spend on average about 60 minutes with each client versus the national average of 8 minutes. I can't do anything in 8 minutes, Michael. We get to sit down with our patients one-on-one time and really practice medicine the way it should be practiced. We enjoy family time, all these things, higher salaries, higher quality of life, getting to practice medicine the way we want to. I call that a triple win.
Wow, I honestly, Dr. James, can't imagine being allowed to spend 60 minutes with my physician. I think when I go in to see my doctor, I probably average, like you said, right in there, 7, 8, maybe 9 minutes if I'm asking a lot of questions.
That's it. That's all you get.
So how is Diamond unique in the market?
Well, we're very unique. We've actually taken the practices of all the different concierge and direct primary care practices, and we've combined them to create this unbelievable practice model. Most practices have 1 or 2 revenue drivers. Diamond has effectively implemented 3 revenue drivers, and those include individual memberships, corporate memberships, and our Diamond 360 Executive Physical, which is considered to be the best physical exam on the planet. Our marketing techniques are the most innovative in our space. I'm sure you've seen the Vistaprint commercial, Michael. It airs on ESPN, CNBC multiple times a day and drives hundreds of website hits daily. I speak nationally on a weekly basis for Fox Radio. I'm a Fox Medical News expert. Plus, we sponsored a PGA Tour professional. We've actually got the Byron Nelson this week, and Tyron Van Oswegen will be playing, wearing our logo in front of millions on TV and thousands in person. Not to mention, we also have our own proprietary practice management software that I don't believe has ever been implemented in the medical field. So we're continuing to push the marketing envelope and innovation so that we can deliver high quality care at a great price.
Understood. So it does sound like Diamond is truly unique. What are the service offerings you provide for the consumers?
Diamond offers high-quality exemplary medical care for a low monthly fee based on age. It's very simple. Our clients receive unlimited visits, no copay, 24-hour access to their doctor via email, text, or in person, plus unlimited urgent care. That's right. We include all your acute medications and procedures that we can perform within our 4 walls. We also offer the same individual services for our corporate partners at a fixed cost regardless of age or pre-medical conditions. Now, our Diamond Solutions business plan is saving companies anywhere from 25 to 30% off their bottom line healthcare costs. So unbelievable savings. The last revenue driver, our Diamond 360 Executive Physical program, has been wildly successful and a huge revenue generator for the Diamond brand.
So it truly is a unique service offering to the consumer. I can't imagine anybody even thinking about texting their doctor for some sort of diagnosis or communication. So that is, you're right, that is very unique, and those are great service offerings. But I got to ask you, what about specialty services, diagnostics, lab testing, blood work, etc.?
Great question. We contract with third-party vendors and negotiate the lowest rate for your labs, imaging, and diagnostic testing. Typically, we offer our clients an 80 to 90% discount off retail price points. So, for example, if you hurt your knee, there was no trauma, no direct blow, you don't have a fracture, why do you have to get an X-ray and then an MRI? We go straight to MRI, and you're going to pay $400 for that MRI instead of $4,000. If
Wow.
you do need an X-ray, $60 instead of $500. Lab tests like a CBC, which is a blood count, CMP, which is electrolytes, kidney function, liver function, and a lipid panel are all around $5 each, compared to $80 to $125 if you go to one of the large labs closest to your home.
Yeah, I think about that because I see, obviously, with insurance, I don't necessarily pay $125 when I get my cholesterol checked, but I see that bill going to my insurance company for that $80 to $125. And then that actually, reminds me, how does the insurance come into play?
Well, the reason why healthcare costs have spiraled out of control is because medical insurance should not be used for routine maintenance of health. We're using it completely wrong. Insurance should be reserved for catastrophic coverage, just like we use our car insurance, just like we use our home insurance. I use the car analogy, Michael. When you fill up your car with gas, you swipe your credit card. You don't file an insurance claim. When you need new windshield wipers, when you need an oil change, new tires, you pay cash. And that's why your car insurance premiums are reasonable. That same principle should be applied to medicine. When you need a flu shot, when you need to see your doctor for a routine preventative visit, you should pay cash. And catastrophic insurance should be used for hospitalizations and surgery. And that's exactly how our clients use insurance. We don't accept insurance at our office. But they can also use their insurance for any of the ancillary services if they choose to do so. However, our negotiated cash pay rates are less than our clients' copay 90% of the time.
So as a Diamond client, I'm going to use my insurance primarily if something happens and I end up in the hospital, or I end up needing to get, as you said, surgery or something like that. Otherwise, typically I'm going to pay out of pocket, and that payment is going to be less than what I would have paid in my copay anyway. And just to come to you, as you said, your four walls, I'm only paying my monthly service fee.
Exactly. Only monthly service fee. It pays for all of our time, all the services that we offer, and any ancillary services. We have unbelievable negotiated cash pay rates. So immunizations, like flu shot, Tdap, then your labs and imaging, those are out of pocket, but you're going to pay far less with Diamond than you would pay anywhere else.
Well, I'm sure at this point a lot of people are thinking the same thing I am, Dr. James. And this all sounds great, but I can go to UCLA medical, or medical school, and I'm not a doctor. Is this something that's limited to physicians?
Absolutely not. In fact, we're actually targeting business-savvy investors more so than physicians. Doctors are trained to practice medicine, not to run a business, unfortunately. We have no school in economics, business development. We don't have any training in actually how to run a practice. So our goal is to teach physicians how to run an effective direct medicine practice. However, we understand the financial limitations most physicians face with massive medical school debt. So Diamond Physicians franchises are open to doctors as well as investors. In fact, we actually like to work with a business-savvy investor who really knows how to run a business. Widgets are widgets.
Sure. And whether that business-savvy investor happens to have gone to medical school or not.
Exactly.
What about people that are already in business for themselves, doctors that already have a practice and are feeling the pain of the insurance issues that you talked about earlier, or just want to break into the direct medicine space and they feel like they would like to do it with a partner and they've seen Diamond? Is there an option there for somebody that wants to do a conversion?
That's another great question. Many physicians across the country are exhausted and burnt out. As I mentioned before, primary care is dying. So our goal is to assist these burnt out doctors that have existing practices and help them convert to our Diamond model. So absolutely, we help existing practices.
Okay, good. And then of course the last thing I'll talk anytime we're talking about a medical business, right? The corporate practice of medicine comes up. So can you talk about how that comes into play with this business model?
Sure. The corporate practice of medicine laws, they were first implemented to prevent corporations from inflating healthcare costs and offering services that are not in the best interest of the patient in order to achieve financial gain. Now, unfortunately, corporations still benefit greatly at the expense of patients, and that's one of the reasons why our current healthcare model is a complete disaster. Diamond is always compliant with all corporate practice of medicine laws, and what we've done, we've created an MSO that manages the practice in our investor-owned model. The physician creates a professional association whose sole purpose is to practice medicine to Diamond's high standards. Revenue flows through the PA up to the MSO and then to the investor.
Understood. Okay. So, and of course, that's the big thing to get out of that is that Diamond is always compliant with CPM laws. So regardless of the CPM law in the state, whatever we need to modify to make sure on a state-by-state basis that we're compliant with these laws, but we understand them, and we will help our doctors stay in compliance with them.
Exactly.
What's the investment look like to get involved in the franchise?
You know, in the overall picture, it's not a lot of money. Our franchise fee is $50,000. We've put a lot of money and time into developing our policies and procedures. Our brand recognition is top-notch. People see the Diamond logo because of our VistaPrint commercial, and they know what we stand for. The average total investment is about $375,000, depending on the one doctor or two doctor model. Our royalty fees are 8%, and our marketing/advertising fee is 2%. So when you compare us to other companies like MDVIP, who takes 33% of physician collections, which is just preposterous, we are extremely affordable and fair. And that's the thing that I always wanted to stress. You know, if I was buying a physician franchise as a physician, I want the deal to be something that would entice me and something that's fair to the physician. And that 10% cut is extremely fair. The franchise fee, $50,000, is worth every penny.
Fair enough. And of course, let's talk about that. You say it's worth every penny. What do we get for it? How long is the initial training for a franchise?
Well, training is your most important aspect. And like I said before, physicians aren't trained to run a practice. So our initial training is between 5 and 6 days. Then we have follow-up training at the franchisee's location once they're open.
Okay. What are we covering in training?
You know, we cover everything from an operational standpoint. The business manager, office manager, medical assistant, and physician all have standard operational protocols. And there's a lot of overlap between the positions and our training procedures. What they do, we want to ensure that all the office staff are familiar with all customer service-oriented roles. So I want the medical assistant to be able to function as the office manager if the office manager needs to leave or has a day off or takes vacation. I want the physician to be able to function as the office manager. All these roles are interchangeable and interrelated, except, you know, we leave the practice of medicine to the actual physician. We don't teach doctors how to practice medicine, but we do train our docs on how to provide exemplary customer service. So whether you walk into Diamond San Diego or Diamond Miami, you're going to have the exact same unbelievable customer service experience.
Okay. And who's training? Who's providing the education?
Well, each franchise is assigned a facilities manager who is responsible for training the staff. Doctors are paired with doctors. We want every doctor that runs through our program to learn from an established Diamond physician and have a one-on-one training session for a full 24 hours. All investors and business managers will meet with me personally to learn the intricacies of our model.
What about real estate, site selection, lease negotiations, things of that nature? Is there any assistance there?
Absolutely. You know, Diamond works with top commercial real estate brokerage firms all over the country. So we want to work with someone you're comfortable with, and we have recommendations on the real estate side.
Okay. And what about ongoing support? What sort of ongoing training and support are you providing?
You know, our ongoing support is both proactive and reactive. From the proactive side, we have a regular conference call that are focused on customer service, marketing, and industry changes. We also hold an annual conference that allows franchisees to network together. They can discuss best practices and what is helping or hindering progress. On the reactive side, franchises have access to myself as well as a full contingent of support personnel for whatever help they need in running their business. You know, we want our franchisees to be successful, and I'm personally going to do whatever it takes for them to achieve success.
Okay. Well, part of that starts in the selection process. Who you're going to award a franchise to, Dr. James. Who are you looking for? Who's the ideal franchisee for Diamond?
Diamond is searching for individuals who first and foremost want to make a difference in the healthcare space. We're looking for entrepreneurs who want to invest in the solution for the largest healthcare crisis we have ever seen. Our mission is to provide affordable healthcare to every U.S. citizen. If this mission statement is thought-provoking, then you could be a potential franchisee. On the physician side, we want doctors who put their patients first. They must be compassionate, charismatic, and nurture the patient-physician relationship. Everything else can be taught, but you cannot teach someone great bedside manner.
What does a day in the life look like for franchisee?
We want to see owners lead the business development effort, become involved in the local community with a grassroots marketing approach. If franchisees just want to make an investment, that's okay too. But we need to know up front so the search for an outstanding business manager can begin.
Okay. Well, Dr. James, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us about the franchise. I'm going to quickly go over what it takes to become a Diamond franchisee. We do have a 6-step process to get involved. The first step, which most people listening to this video probably have already done, is a pre-qualification call. You're going to work with your franchise development professional, have an initial call, understand the qualifications of the business, and understand the initial offering. The second step is going to be a program review. So you're going to fill out some paperwork, get it back to us, and we're going to go through a program review, which is a deep dive into the history of the business, the industry, the day in the life, and the financial piece. After that, you're going to receive our franchise disclosure document and review that yourself with a franchise attorney, and then finally with somebody on our staff. Once you've done that, you get into what's called franchisee validation, and that's where you actually talk to franchisees who have their boots on the ground doing this business and validate everything we've told you. Finally come out to Discovery Day. Discovery Day is done in Dallas to meet with Dr. James, and then we formalize a relationship at that point. So that's the 6 steps to go through from where you're at today to becoming a Diamond franchisee. So with that, your primary point of contact is going to be Seth Letterman. He's our Executive Vice President of Franchise Development. His name, phone number, and email address are on your screen. Thank you so much for taking a minute to watch our video, learn more about our franchise, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Dr. James, again, thanks so much for your time today.
Absolutely. I look forward to meeting all the potential franchisees.